What's going on, Jerome's? So I know I initially announced that there wasn't going to be a halftime show, but then I remembered, you know what? Even though this might be the last game of the season, if we don't finish strong, the terrorists win. That's what's going on. So, Vikings trailing the Lions 13-6. Vikings do get the ball to start the second half, and they're putting up some fight. Even though the Vikings have had a myriad of injuries all over the place, the offensive line is decimated. The Vikings are getting after it. So, big time respect there. And Justin friggin' Jefferson. Yeah. Hey. Again, I fully understand the ramifications of this game. Like, the Vikings have a very minuscule chance of making the playoffs. They need a bunch of things to go right for them. But the Vikings could move up in the draft to potentially as high as 9. Again, I understand. But we're always a big proponent of you draft where you draft. And I understand the logic of, like, well, I want a generational talent. Because if you're guaranteed to go from 12 to 9, you're guaranteed a generational talent. All right. And especially in this class where it's not a one quarterback class. This is going to be 5-6 quarterbacks in the first round, 8 to 9 in the top 100. The Vikings will be able to find their quarterback in the future. So no matter where they draft, whether it's 9, 12, 17, 19, 32, bingo, Vikings will find their quarterback. So it's so funny. It's like you'd almost rather talk politics than get into, well, the Vikings should lose for a draft pick, or play to win the game. It's fun, man. But either way, the Vikings look like they were trying to give it away now in the first quarter. The defense has just been lacking punch the last couple weeks, and I don't think you can put it all on injuries. It just, I don't know, man. I don't know. If you got a question or comment, toss a couple bucks in the super chat. We'll read them off. And then, the whole thing too is like penalties. Oh, so first off, I took off my ad blocker because it's funny to me ever since that Jason Whitlock thing. Go look that up because I wanted to see what would come up. And the one that came up is Weight Watchers. Like, how dare you? How dare you? Also, all right, so we got the Nike store. It's looking good. All right, so these ones are for sale. $61, and then the purple and gold. I mean, that looks pretty damn good. Outlaw, $2. Tight end for tight end revenge. That's all. No. So you feel terrible for Laporta because essentially this is a meaningless game for the Lions. I mean, they could move up to 2, but they need to win, and they need the Cowboys and the Eagles to lose, so it's a marginal. And if Laporta is out with a serious knee injury, I mean, that's on Dan Campbell for playing his starters in a game that is essentially meaningless for them. And I feel like Dan Campbell, sometimes his mentality gets in the way of what is best for the team. And, prayers up for Laporta. No, I don't want this to be an eye for eye thing because of what they did to Hawkinson. No, you don't wish injury upon anyone. And Laporta had nothing to do with Hawkinson's injury. So, nah. X-Revert, $2. Is JJ going to leave? Because I'm kind of worried. Well, you can see how much winning means to him because he is pissed off on the sidelines, and in a way, I love that. Whereas if he was on the sideline, laughing, joking, having a good time, as long as he's getting his stats, it doesn't matter. And there are many tier 1 wide receivers that would be doing just that. You're thinking of them right now, but all JJ wants to do is win. And that means a lot to me. And he wants to know who the quarterback is going to be going forward. I respect that. Derek Becker, $20. Where'd it go? Good in-game adjustments by Flores and Kevin O'Connell. O-line just ain't got it. I mean, sending Mullins out there with those 5 and 7 step drops, those long developing plays when you have 2, 3 backup offensive linemen, Reisner dipped out for a second in the game. That's just coaching malpractice, and that's exactly what Kevin O'Connell did to Jaron Hall. But Jaron Hall's a bust. No. FC1 Civics, $2. Should we do a quarterback change in the second half? I just think Mullins is operating well, and he hasn't made a stupid boner mistake quite yet. And what's frustrating too is that, I mean, the touchdown to Addison was there. And I don't know, for whatever reason, Addison just stopped short. But it was a good ball. And maybe it's just because he was adjusting to Nick Mullins because, I mean, Mullins doesn't really have a huge arm. But, I mean, it was there. It was a good throw. Addison should have had his 10th touchdown of the season, but it is what it is. But overall, JJ is a clear winner right now, 6 for 89 on 7. Is doing the damn thing. Johnny Munt picking up the sticks on 3rd and 30. Let's go. Ty Chandler getting some work. Also, I mean, that first sack was all on Alexander Mattison and his pass blocking and miscommunications. And I know people want to roast Ty Chandler for his pass blocking, but, I mean, come on. Come on, man. That's a ridiculous excuse. But Josh Oliver having a couple nice catches, too. So, basically, I mean, they're doing what they can. They're still in the fight. They get the ball to start the second half. Defense, after completely just imploding early on, has really stepped up nicely in the second quarter. So hopefully that carries over. But, I mean, it was almost like, oh, here we go again. It was going to be a no call, no show, just like against the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. But the Vikings defense has stepped up pretty nicely. And I think it's a spot where, maybe mentally, the team was like, oh, here we go. We have a small chance. We're going on the road. It's snowy Detroit. It's whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then once they got into the game and got punched in the mouth, they're like, F you. This is a game, and we got the competitive juices flowing, and you're going. But stupid penalties are ridiculous. The false starts, the illegal formations, just mental mistakes all over the place, unacceptable. The delay of games, too. So you've noticed it's happened all season, and it happened with Kirk, it happened with Dobbs, it happened with Jaron Hall, it's happened with Nick Mullins, where obviously it's not just the quarterback. It's not on all four of them. So something has to be wrong with the process with Kevin O'Connell. Like, is he taking too long, spitting out the play call before comp shut down at 15, making them late to line up? It's just, some of them aren't even close. Like, yes, you see some of them where, Mullins is clapping for the ball or, Vikings quarterback TBD. But some of them, like, the clock is running out before they send a guy in motion, where it's just, that's like 5-6 seconds late. It's ridiculous. Alejandro Lopez, $2. I swear every play they hold JJ. They do. And basically the Lions, and especially Brian Branch, they're just daring the refs to call it every single time. Oh, by the way, the refs, that was not a first down. Like, are you kidding me? Are you bleeping me? I understand that you're probably just trying to give the Lions a makeup call, but that's ridiculous, man. Dorian Foley, $20. What up? Love and respect from an OG Jerome. Keep on keeping Skull alive. That's right. That's right. Where, you know what? The Vikings have had many down seasons, and I know that the fan base, it's okay to have differing opinions. It's sort of like, Professor X, who wants to see the rise of the mutants through the good and find the good in the world, and Magneto just wants to burn this thing to the ground. But essentially, they both want the same thing, all right? But they have different ways to get there, and so we need to take no. Actually, Magneto is way cooler than Professor X, though. I mean, let's be honest here. Yeah. Also, when they put him in like a prison made of plastic, that was hilarious, man. That was great. But so here's some of the other early games. All right, so basically, everything else that needs to happen for the Vikings takes place in the afternoon, because it's like they need the Falcons or the Bucks to lose, I believe, either or. But the Vikings need to win, and then they need Seattle to lose at Arizona, and then Green Bay to lose against the Bears. All right, so basically everything else happens, and I understand. The Vikings lose, they could get a better draft pick, and blah 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 blah. But this is a class where this is not 2011. I mean, this is not Christian Ponder and Jake Locker and Blaine Gabbert behind Cam at 1. This ain't it. I mean, there's going to be several high-level starting quarterbacks in this class, and the Vikings will be able to get theirs. So I ain't really worried about it. And whatever happens, happens. If the Vikings win, great. If the Vikings lose, and it helps out their draft position, it helps out their schedule. So they play a fourth place schedule versus a third place schedule, whatever. But also, I could not take the crowing of greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers fans and Bears fans if the Vikings finish fourth in division. Can't do it. Also, it's not a guarantee year to year that, hey, third place teams will play like third place teams, fourth place teams will play like fourth place teams. I mean, teams are rising and falling every single year in this league. So that is what it is. But that's it. That's a quick and dirty halftime show. Will be here for a post game, and you guys are the best. Keep Skull alive, and F it. Let's just go and get a win. How about JJ goes 15 for 210 and 2, and the Vikings walk off with a W. Eating a W. Let's go, man.